Iran, oh dear. It says here, Iran could have an operational nuke by 2017. By the end of 2017. I'm going to repeat that again. Iran. The nation of Iran could have an operational nuke by the end of 2017. Now this is curious. And I have to say, perfect timing for the Ayatollah. Because, 2017 is when Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is planning to run up against Hassan Rouhani. And all systems are a go. He had his little, break or what have you. Now he can rerun according to the rules of running for the president in Iran. And it just so happens, again, perfect timing, that now an actual nuke could be operational in the same year, just a few months after he may very well get the seat back as president of Iran. Let's read. The nuclear accords, now this headline just came out within the past 48 hours, the one I'm reading to you. The one that I just shared with you with Iran virtually demanding that we fix, so-callingly, the $2 billion Supreme Court ruling in what took place with the 1979 U.S. Embassy takeover of Iran and how they have to pay the payments to those who were affected, the families here. That came out hours ago. That came out just today. Iran having an operational nuke by 2017. Again, 48 hours ago. Let's read. The nuclear accord signed a year ago with Iran has become a hot U.S. presidential campaign issue. On Thursday, August 4th, U.S. President Barack Obama, speaking at the Pentagon, said, "The agreement," and I quote, "has worked exactly the way we said it would." Oh dear. And now Obama went on to say this. He's such a liar in chief. He says, and even Israeli defense officials are behind it. Do you want to know how much of a lie that is? Now I'm talking to my Facebook audience here as well, my friends. You want to know how much of a lie that is? That is like saying to the entire American public, which he has done. In public addresses, he has addressed the entire nation and said, all Americans are behind gun control. He said that, right? We've heard that. Not all Americans are behind gun control. Not all Americans are, Mr. President, but you have Obama straight up telling people in the entire U.S., all Americans are behind gun control. It's no different than President Barack Obama saying even Israeli defense officials are behind the nuclear accord that worked so beautifully with Iran a year ago. It's stunning, but check this out. It gets more interesting. He goes on to say Israel defense officials are behind it and now recognize the efficacy of the accord, and that the Iranians no longer have the short-term breakout capacity that would allow them to develop nuclear weapons. Oh, pray tell, Mr. El Presidente, let's continue. Hillary Clinton declared at the Democratic Party convention, which gave her the presidential nomination, she quotes, "We put a lid on Iran's nuclear program without firing a single shot." Oh, these people are about to feel very stupid very soon. Both these claims may be called hyperbolic, both these claims are ridiculous and at best endure a response from Tel Aviv. Okay. So here we have President Barack Obama, we have Hillary Clinton saying, listen, nuclear accord worked out as is, worked out better, worked out just as we said it would. And it worked out even better because Israel's behind it too now, right? You know that's a bold-faced lie. Tel Aviv has since responded. They said the following: the Israeli defense establishment believes that agreements have value only if they are based on reality. They have no value if the facts on the ground are opposite to the ones the agreement is based on. Intelligence sources in recent weeks bear some facts contained in unpublished sections of the Nuclear Accord, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also called JCPA. Hear this: that Iran signed in Vienna with the P5+1 accord, which includes U.S., China, France, Russia, Germany. U.S., China, France, Russia, Britain, and Germany on July 14, 2015. That's when the nuclear accord was signed. This data is at odds with the official version that accord delayed Iran's short-term breakout capacity to a nuclear bomb by 10 years plus one. Because that's what we were told. That's what President Barack Obama told the entire United States. Not only that, listen, he told the entire world. He said, listen, this nuclear accord has allowed us to stop Iran from establishing a nuclear weapon for at least 10 years. Remember that? We remember. It says here, it is now demonstrated that if Tehran decides to violate the accord, Iran retains the capability to achieve this goal in months. I'm going to repeat that again. It is now demonstrated that if Tehran, which is the capital of Iran, decides to violate the accord, that Iran retains the capability to achieve this goal in months, not years. This is coming from Israeli Defense Intelligence Forces, okay? Now it says here, the strongest confirmation of this fact comes from the horse's mouth. Ali Akbar Salehi, president of the Atomic Energy Organization from Iran. He said the nuclear deal stipulates that if any party violates it, then Iran can go back to enriching uranium at Natanz within 45 days at an even higher capacity than before the agreement was signed. His deputy cited 20-fold. Their words follow Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's repeated allegations that the U.S. is in violation of the nuclear accord, again also called JCPA. U.S. administration officials' insistence that Iran will need a whole year to attain breakout capacity of its nuclear weapons program at the end of the 10-year moratorium is nullified by 3 covert Iranian steps. Here they are. Number 1. Iran has concealed from International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors entire clusters of second-generation IR-2M centrifuges, some by upgrading IR machines at home and some imported from Pakistan and Germany. These hidden machines can substantially cut short the process of enriching uranium at the Natanz and Fordo plants up to weapons grade. Number 2. Before signing the nuclear accord, Tehran stockpiled in Natanz alone 15,420 centrifuges, 9,156 of the first-generation IR-1 versions, and over 1,000 high-speed IR-2M enrichment machines. On the date of signing, the inspectors were shown 5,060 IR-1 centrifuges, all dismantled and stowed away in storage along with the relevant feed equipment, such as pipes, cooling systems, and electronics. That Iran is now in a position to reassemble its enrichment facilities within 45 days was admitted by Salehi himself. Now, number three, the American calculation of the time Iran would need to build a nuclear bomb was based on the quantity of low-grade enriched uranium, also known as LEU, left with Iran for further refinement to weapon-grade level. Washington was satisfied that Tehran abided by the 300 kilograms limit set by the accord. However, Iran has since been revealed as cheating on that provision by transferring a much larger LEU stock to Oman and continuing to clandestinely turn out further quantities disguised as materials required for research. All this information adds up to Iran's current ability to flout the JCPA at any time. Again, to just break that nuclear accord at any time. Having retained all its capabilities and means of production for breaking out to developing a nuclear weapon within months up to the end of 2017. Listen, this is just up to the end of 2017. It could come sooner than that. Rather than years. After marking strides in their missile program, the Iranians would also soon be able to make a Mount Nuke on an intercontinental ballistic missile, also known as an ICBM, which could wipe out a European or Middle East city. Oh, my friends, this is stunning revelation. Stunning news. Again, it is no wonder. It seems very perfectly timed if you ask me. We just brought you a report. Iran's ex-president Ahmadinejad asks Obama to fix $2 billion Supreme Court ruling. You're like, okay, so what? No, it's not okay, so what? And I know it's not everybody saying that, but there's probably some that are saying, what does that mean? Well, we just explained it. I just spent a few minutes explaining this. But the point is, well, there's a couple of points here, but the main point I want to focus on is the fact that Ahmadinejad spoke. Why is he speaking? He's ex-president, right? The current president of Iran is Hassan Rouhani. Hassan Rouhani, everybody's dubbed as moderate. He was needed for a time. Why was he needed for? He was needed to, gain the trust, not only of the U.S., but also of the additional P5+1 nations to bring forth that nuclear accord. Do you really believe they would have been able to bring forth a nuclear accord with Mahmoud Ahmadinejad? No way. No way. Everything was timed out. I'll even go as far as saying this. I would not doubt if this was already pre-planned, not just by the Iranian government, but also by the U.S. government and the United Nations, all working hand in hand to get this timed out just right. Listen, my friends, we're talking about the last days. We're talking about the rise of a new order that's prophesied in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 23 to 26, and Daniel 8, chapter 23 to 26. It talks about the rise of the fourth kingdom, the mark of the beast system. And it is going to be a whole new order of things. Everything's going to get changed. The whole world, the system. Right now, we're looking at governments being shaken. We're looking at the economies being shaken worldwide. We're looking at the stock markets and portfolios and the rise and fall of oil. Oil's crashing. And now, again, it's continued signs that the Lord is showing us that we are living in the last days. And now when it comes to Iran, and again, the ex-president Mahmoud Ahmadinejad coming back on the scene. Oh, for such a time as this, I'm sure. And again, to go hand in hand with the headline we just read, Iran could have an operational nuke by 2017. Perfect timing for his new election now as president, running against Rouhani himself in the May 2017 elections. The May 2017 elections. What is going to happen? Could it be that this has all been planned to bring the U.S. down, to finish the U.S. off, to bring forth that iron kingdom? Partly iron, partly clay. It will not adhere to itself, though, is what Daniel says. It's what the prophet Daniel spoke, being inspired by the Lord himself, when the Lord showed him what was going to take place in the latter times. Now listen, war will happen. Will war happen against the U.S. first? I believe that there will be great calamity that will be coming on the U.S. A great calamity that's going to change the way we live as we know it. But I believe the war is actually going to be targeted towards the nation of Israel. Some may say, why? Well, because the nation of Israel currently is a cup of trembling. According to Zechariah chapter 12, it says that all nations will be gathered up against Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a hotbed right now. The nations of the earth, everybody right now, there's a major distress of nations upon the earth with perplexity. That alone in itself is Bible prophecy, according to the Gospel of Luke chapter 21 verse 25. But if even in the midst of all the distress of nations, even in the midst of all the wars and rumors of wars, China and Russia teaming up to go against the U.S. and Europe, the NATO nations, North Korea going up against South Korea. You have the South American nations now teaming up with the BRICS Bank and trying to be challenging the International Monetary Fund. With all the distress of nations, with all the perplexity that's taking place, if there's anything that all the nations could be in agreement on, it's this one thing. The dividing of Jerusalem. They really believed that if Jerusalem was divided, the world would be a better place. Peace would finally come in the Middle East. And I'm going to tell you something, peace is not going to come except by the Prince of Peace, and his name is Jesus Christ. But until that day comes, the world is going to go through a great persecution, a great turmoil, a great shaking. But the Bible says that he's given us a kingdom which can never be shaken. So it's my prayer that each and every one of you are born again and filled with God's Spirit in these last days. That your name has been written in the Lamb's book of life, my friends. Because it's getting more intense. I know that there are some that say, oh, well, the blood red moons pass and the tetrad pass and the Shemitah pass and nothing happened. Oh, no. That was one of the main telltale signs that something major is going to happen. And it's going to be bigger than a stock market collapse. The stock market collapses was just a sign of soon coming judgment. The fact that we didn't see a major stock market collapse tells you judgment has begun. And listen, if judgment has begun, it already has begun in the house of the Lord. Judgment begins in the house of the Lord. After that, who else can stand? I hope you're saved. I really do. In the midst of all this, we have to understand that, I mean, there's so much more to cover. I just tune in tomorrow. We have another broadcast, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We ended up doing a 3-hour broadcast tonight, but it's all right. I think you guys received it. I think you guys enjoyed it. I think you guys learned. You came in, even if you came in full, you still came in overflowing, or you're leaving overflowing. Oh, I want to show you something. Oh, look at this. I just noticed this. I got to put it for my friends on who are tuning in on the channels, okay? Blog Talk Radio, I know you're not going to be able to see this, but just take my word. Oh, you guys are going to be shocked. Are you ready? I was just reading the article on Iran could have an operational nuke by 2017, and they have a sign that symbolizes nuclear. Well, it's also a clock. I just caught this. The clock is set at 11:59. Check this out. I'm going to show you guys. This is stunning. The Lord's speaking to us, my friends. The Lord is speaking to us. That's a symbol right there for nuclear. And if you see it closely, and it's very clear, it's an actual clock. And if you see where the hands of the clock are, it's at 11:59. 1 minute to midnight. And what do we constantly talk about here? We always talk about that we're living in the last days, the 11:59 prophetic time clock of God. We're living in the last days. Give your life to Christ. Say, Jesus, save me. Save my soul. Save my spirit. Save my life. Make me born again. Write my name in the Lamb's book of life. Say it with me. Say it with me. Say, Jesus, save me. Save me, Lord. Save my soul. Save my spirit. Save my life. Make me born again. In Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you. God bless you. My friends, until tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I look forward to bringing to you more breaking world news and matching Bible prophecy. Now, open your eyes, people. With Evangelist Anita Fuentes, reading breaking world news, matching Bible prophecy. All the latest headlines confirming the hour which we are living. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 5:30 a.m. World Harvest Television. Open Your Eyes, People is an end-time publication broadcast with specific focus on the signs of the times, end of the age, the day of the Lord quickly approaching. This is Evangelist Anita Fuentes. Open Your Eyes, People brings you the latest in breaking news world headlines, matching Bible prophecy. God said in Isaiah chapter 46 verses 9 through 10 that He declares the end from the beginning. Are we living in the last days? Is all that is happening been prophesied in the Bible? Are we the last generation? Are we headed for the greatest tribulation that the world has ever seen? These and many more questions are answered on the Spirit-led broadcast. With over 180 nations tuning in each week, it's no wonder God is using this broadcast to see hundreds come to salvation each week, rededicate their lives, and sharpen their walk in the narrow way. We need your help. We cannot do this alone. We need your help to keep and expand the work of this broadcast ministry to reach even more souls. The time is short and the day is dawning. Donate today. www.emoaf.org. That is www.emoaf.org. We need your donations. Visit us today.